fatigued, you're about to get your afternoon boost with Tony Gwynn Jr.
That gorilla is way faster. He can do things with his feet and hands that if he tries to shoulder up with the silverback, he's probably breaking his clavicle. That's all muscle. There's no fat at all.
Chris Ello.
There was 3 versions of King Kong, but I think the gorilla won each time.
And Matt Scraby.
About an hour in, he goes to use the bathroom, and when he stood up, the nuclear cloud of butt dust was released, and it smelled worse than a porta potty baking in the sun all day.
Don't blame us for any side effects.
You thrilled our fans throughout the postseason with a great performance.
Gwynn and Chris are ready to go.
So let's get to it. Finally, a Friday. Welcome in, everybody. Gwynn and Chris on 97.3 The Fan. Chris Ello. Tony Gwynn Jr. He has moved on to Milwaukee. And Matt Scraby has moved over to the 1s and 2s spot here in the studio.
You guys are back stuck with me.
You're all over the place here the last couple of days, sir.
Yeah, it was quite the experience. I'm very appreciative for the opportunity. Learned a lot during my time filling in.
Hopefully the listeners learned something listening to you.
I think that people got something from it.
Okay,
Yes. But I got to tell you guys, it is so strange to get off work at 2 and then have to wait 4.5 hours for the game. Like, because usually when I leave here, turn on the game, you guys are already on. It is so strange getting off that early because it's just different. I'm a creature of habit.
Everything is, I believe, back to normal for at least the time being here. Braden should be returning Monday. And Gwynn and Chris is back together again here. Tony is, as we mentioned, back in the city where he began his Major League Baseball career. Welcome home, sir. I'm sure there was a ticker tape parade. Nothing.
Are we still doing this bit?
I know it's kind of over. You're right, because they never recognize that he's even back, and it kind of makes me mad. Honestly, I think they should welcome him back.
No, they don't need to welcome me. I didn't do nothing here. So,
well, I beg to differ. But
I got I get to see the people who were around for sure. They all show some love. I haven't got a chance to go down there yet because I had to come straight here once we got off the bus. So. I'll get a chance to catch up with some of my friends. There's got to be a couple of
clubhouse people down there.
For sure, for sure.
All right. Well, good. It's I'm glad you're back, and I'm sure you're safe and sound there in Milwaukee. Padres and Brewers do start a 3-game series tonight. We'll talk about the Padres and the 4-game split in San Francisco. But I think, Tony, the thing that is on most people's minds.
What's on most people's mind?
Well, it's on my mind anyway. So
wait, is this the equivalent of me saying people?
Yeah, this
feels like it.
Well, this is one of those things because I could say that it's on people's minds, but I don't know if it is. But if it's on my mind, then it now has to be on their mind because I'm going to mention it. Your cohort in the booth, Dave Marcus, I like to call Dave Marcuzzi, getting a ton of airtime during the telecast the other night.
He did indeed.
Yeah, can you just please tell him that, and I don't know, it seemed like everybody was kind of poking fun at him, which is not fair to do when you just stick a guy on camera and don't really give him any preparation time. But he did what I think all of us would do if we all of a sudden, out of nowhere, found out we're now on television.
What would that be?
Straighten your hair. First thing, got to straighten the hair. And even though Dave hardly has any, I get it, Dave. I do the same thing whenever I see myself pop up on camera somewhere. Even though I have no hair, I try to straighten it out also.
I heard Tony's joke driving home from somewhere, and he said Dave has the 3 hairs like Homer Simpson.
Well, he had to get them straight.
First of all, I am only a piece of the story.
Yes.
Right?
Tell us what happened, how this all transferred.
So Jesse and I always have a feed coming in of TV. There's no sound. We just get a feed.
Right. Something to keep an eye on.
So that we can, see some of the replays and things of that nature. And so all of a sudden, just mentions that we're on TV, and you could just tell by how they had it framed that they weren't talking about Jesse and I.
Right. Yes.
And mind you, the game is happening, so I'm kind of like looking at the field, looking at the screen, looking at the field, looking at the screen. And so I could tell that, okay, yeah, this is not – I'm like halfway in the picture. Jesse's like a little bit in the picture, but my man Dave Marcus is centered in that bad boy. So
yes, he was.
I think we kind of put it together that they were talking about Dave. The funny part was, as I said, there's no sound, so we didn't know what they were talking about. And so I don't know how much longer it was, maybe an inning or two. Jesse, one of our listeners sends Jesse the sound of what exactly is being said. And we had a good chuckle listening to Mud, especially talk about the chapstick part. And within seconds, he pulls the chapstick out and is putting it on his lips. It was classic Dave Marcus.
It could not have worked out any better. It just simply could not have worked out any better. But Dave, I just wanted to let you know.
Dave is here right now. He has a mic, so I assume he's going to speak.
Well, none of this was funny. I don't think any of this was funny at all.
it was, Dave, it was a great moment, even though you don't think so. It was organic, and that was what was great about it. And that's why I brought it up. I brought this up to tell you that we all do the same thing you did. When you find out you're on television, you can't help but try to neaten or tidy up just a little bit. And so that's a very natural reaction. You did what all of us do. So, and I also don't know that it's 100% fair of them just to fire the camera on you without you knowing. Should they give you a heads up, don't you think, Tony? No?
Hey, no. I mean, listen, I don't have a heads up when they put me on camera.
No, they don't.
Jesse,
that's true.
None of us get a heads up. So,
that's true.
You just got to do, make it work the best way you can.
Yeah, you do get talked about. Yeah, and that's true, Tony. You get talked about on the national broadcast. Anytime your dad might come up, they'll shoot a shot of you in the booth, and then you'll be there. And, of course, everybody was watching Dave Marcus the other night, but I don't know that Scraby, if you caught what I caught on the side there, was where Tony Gwynn Jr. was standing, bundled up like he was in Alaska.
I did not notice this, actually.
My goodness.
I mean, it was San Francisco.
Yeah,
I
get that. But he had the jacket. He had the ski cap. Did you have a ski mask? No, I don't think he had that.
I didn't have a mask.
No, but you looked like you were freezing up there.
Yeah, so. Listen, I wasn't freezing because I was prepared.
Yeah,
I had a beanie.
Right.
I had a jacket, so I was comfortable in my little get up there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, a fun night. And look, during the course of a long season, look, we still got, after tonight, I hate to remind everybody, still 100 games to go. So, we can.
What?
Yeah. And that's something. This is the 62nd game of the year tonight.
I think you guys would be proud that I came on today and I said they won the games they should have lost. They lost the games they probably should have won, but they got a lot of time to go.
Well,
so I think you guys should be proud.
Well, look, I mean, the season isn't going to be won or lost. What happened this week, what happens Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is going to be important, of course. But, you want to go into that series playing well. And the bottom line is they got the split in San Francisco. We said this yesterday, Scraby, and if they had lost the first two and then come back and won the second two, we'd be extolling their virtues. Way to go. They bounced back. They hung in there. They were tough. They gutted it out, got a split. But since it went the other way, people are disappointed. They should have done more. And the bottom line is a split is a split is a split. And for that, you move on. I mean, it's a road split, 4 games against a good team. And there were 4 good games, Tony. I mean, we talk about it. Give us more of this divisional play. It's exciting.
Yeah, man, those were 4 really well-played games.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. It's something about division games, especially when it comes to, the Padres Giants, Padres Dodgers, Padres Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
They play good, close games. And so, that's all we saw this past week, or these past 4 games was 2 good teams. Padres stole 2 games, basically the first 2 times. And then they got 2 stolen from them in the next 2. And so you take your split in a tough. I still think that is one of the tougher places to go in and get wins. And the Padres have had their fair share of success there, but that's not an easy place. And they snuck 2 in, and they got the other 2 taken from them. And that's kind of how it goes. Now, you got to turn the page real quick because this Brewer team has got on a nice little win streak here, playing some good baseball. They're back at home. So, yeah, you got to get over whatever it is. And, the Padres in general do a terrific job of it. They turn the page, I think, better than most. So, same thing. This team is what?
They won 9 of 10. I know that. So
9 of 10. Yeah, 9 and 1 in their last 10.
Right. So it's going to be a good competitive weekend. Tonight is the only game, by the way. I hate to remind everyone out there that is on local television.
I don't hate it because the
Yes, I
radio
know.
is
We
there
will look
every single night.
Right. More people are going to listen, but for us that are used to tuning in and watching on our local TV, not going to happen after tonight. Tomorrow it's a national game on Fox Television, and then Sunday morning it is on something called the Roku channel.
Roku.
And I have not
It's not a channel.
It isn't. I don't even know what it is. I'm not privy to whatever. I'm not privy to however the game is being, aired on Sunday morning. I have no idea.
I believe
So where do you
Roku's
go for that?
Roku is like an Apple TV type device.
All right.
So you have to buy it.
I got to
I'm
run
sure
out
you
to
could
the
stream
store.
it. I'm sure you could stream it, but I know that Roku's like a device.
Is it a channel? You said it's not a channel.
No, you have to
No, it's like a device.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Chris,
God.
I wish everybody could
Well,
have seen his
come
face.
on. I'm too old for this stuff.
Dave Marcus
turn the
says
channel on.
he has Roku, so he'll be able to watch the Padre game, even though he'll be at the Padre game.
Thanks, Dave.
Dave, can you send me your address and tell your wife I like my eggs over medium, and I'll just be by and I'll have to watch the game at your house because I can't watch it at my house. All right, series gets underway tonight. We're going to talk a lot about it. We have Sean Reynolds as our Friar Friday guest. Tony will be getting downstairs to visit with Mike Schilt in a little while. We have to, see about the lineups and see whether we got Xander, whether we got a Rise. We'll check in on all of that for you. But before we talk to Sean Reynolds, I got to talk to Tony about Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night. Just real quick, Tony, we're going to break. But I know everybody out there was shocked at what they saw last night, except for me and you.
That's right.
All right. Just want people clear on that.
Why is the? I'll find out on the other side.
Well, because we think the Pacers had a chance to win the series, and nobody else did.
Okay.
I think it's kind of obvious at this point they do. We'll talk more about that as Gwynn and Chris rolls on here. Underway, finally a Friday, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, everyone. Tony Gwynn Jr. here. 2:18 back in San Diego. Let's get right to it. Baseball news. Corbin Burns will have Tommy John surgery next week. His season has come to an end.
And next season probably, right, Tony?
At least into next season. I don't know if he'll lose all of next season, but it will be into next season that Corbin Burns will get the pitch again. And so that's a huge blow, obviously, for the Diamondbacks, who are already kind of teetering with their ball club. And so
you'd almost rather see a pitcher walk off the mound and say, I have a broken arm, than walk off the mound and say, yeah, my elbow kind of feels funny, but I don't know what's wrong. Because the broken arm will be 6, months or something. You'll be back. The elbow feeling funny usually means Tommy John surgery nowadays.
They would have taken him saying my elbow feels kind of funny. He said my elbow is done.
Right.
Is what the words he used.
Yeah, that was
that doesn't really leave you with a bunch of confidence as he walks off the mound at that point.
No,
so
you're right. So that's
bad news. Really unfortunate for Corbin Burns and the Diamondbacks. Their season got a lot tougher here today. That being said, we shift now to the NBA, in which the Indiana Pacers had Game 1 versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City pretty much dominated that game. Had a lead for all of 11 seconds, not even 11 seconds, all of 1 point whatever seconds it was.
Yep.
Until Mr. Halliburton reared his ugly energy again on the opposing team and knocked down a game winner. I have been a hater of Halliburton. He is quickly making me a fan of him, because you can say what you want. Whatever trash he talks, he backs it up, and he hasn't just backed it up. He has hit some daggers, like game winners. They too many people who can say that.
It's unbelievable what the Pacers have done, right? I mean, this is the 4th time in the playoffs, Tony, that they have been behind by an insurmountable score in the final minute of a game. They were down 7 to Milwaukee in the final 40 seconds of overtime, and they won that game to clinch the series. They were down 14 to the Knicks with less than 3 minutes to go in Game 1, and they won that game. They did the same to Cleveland in one of the games, and I don't remember the exact number. But last night they were down 15 in the 4th quarter. The last team to come back from that was a Dallas team coached by Rick Carlisle in 2011. They were still down 9 with about a minute and a half to go. NBA final teams in the history were 0 and like 1,100. Now they're 1 and 1,100. And it was Halliburton's final shot, but it was everybody contributed in the final minute. Nembhard made a step back 3. Neesmith made a 3 along the sideline. Siakam grabbed a rebound. And SGA, they found a way to finally defend him the last couple of possessions without putting him on the foul line. And that set it all up. I mean, it was amazing, because there was no way Indiana should have ever won that game.
Watching the highlights, like completely blind, because mind you, I didn't get to watch the game.
Right, you were on a flight, yeah.
So I had only caught once I could turn my phone off airplane mode, I had only caught the final shot. So watching the highlights, it was hard not to think that, man, the Pacers having to defend Jalen Brunson for the entire series had to have prepared these guys for what they're seeing against SGA. SGA is just they play almost exactly the same. The SGA is just a bigger version of what Jalen Brunson does. They both use their body, and they create fouls, and they do all of that. And I just thought, I think the other thing that I found out this morning and I thought about was, I think is it Nembhard? Nembhard. He's Canadian, and I'm pretty sure that he played against SGA growing up. So
just had a
this
little
is
extra help.
there's
Now,
right
yeah.
there. Not only that, I just think that there's a less of a fear factor. This is a dude he's been going up against since he was a kid, since he was young, and you're facing him off. There isn't that kind of aura that he may have facing off against some of these other guys in the league. And I thought despite him having a terrific game, when it got down to the nitty gritty, they were able to get some stops, specifically with him with the ball.
Yeah. The last possession was, really well done by Nembhard. Although SGA normally makes that shot, he missed it, and that gave Halliburton the opening. SGA had 38 points, Tony. That's fantastic. It's in the headlines. But he took 30 shots to get there.
Yeah.
And he also only had 3 assists, so he got no one else involved, really. And he's your point guard. I'm not down on SGA. I'm not, but what I am is not feeling the whole MVP thing yet. And I said that during the run of the playoffs. He's got to play a better all-around game, believe it or not. And I'd rather see him score 30 points and do, shoot a better percentage and get some of the other guys
involved. Not
involved.
feeling the whole MVP thing. What do you mean by that?
Because I told you right when he won the award, I said, I don't think he's a rip your heart out kind of MVP guy.
I got you.
That's all. I think he deserved the award. He had the best stats, the whole thing. But
so there's 2 categories for MVPs now?
No, there isn't.
There's rip your heart out MVPs.
Well, ask Kobe, ask Michael,
I get it.
Harden. Some of these guys will take your breath away. But back to Indiana, they also won the game, Tony, after committing an unheard of 19 turnovers in the first half. They were on pace for 40 turnovers in that game.
Now they only had 5 in the second.
They only had 5 in the second half. That's how they came back.
Which is a big reason why they were able to come back. It's when you get to it's the same thing. When you get to this time of year in all sports, right? In football, what do we talk about come playoff times? Turnovers.
Yeah.
Don't turn the ball over. In baseball, it looks a little different, but it's virtually the same thing. Errors, walks. Don't have those come playoff times because it comes back to haunt you. It's no different in basketball. You turn the ball over. It's part of the reason why Oklahoma City had the leads they had.
That's their secret sauce, man. They get a lot of turnovers.
They turn you over,
yeah.
and they get buckets off of it. I will say that was one of the things that the Pacers also did better than most was they turned them over, and Oklahoma City wasn't like converting all of them like they seemed to do against everybody else, and that allowed them to be down. I think it were 11 at halftime.
Yeah, they were right. They should have been down 25 at halftime.
100%.
And they just
100%.
So
yeah,
I would caution this though. Tony and I are feeling a little celebratory today because we both like the Pacers and no one else did. The series is not over by any stretch. No. Oklahoma City still looks to me like they're the better team, I must say. Yeah. So Indiana's going to have to figure some things out because I don't know that they're going to luck you out and pull out every single game at the wire like that.
This series still has the potential to turn into the Lakers 76ers from like the early 2000s.
They could win the next 4.
They could win the next 4 for sure.
They could, but Indiana got the first one last night. It was exciting. Look, the NBA's they don't have the big markets. They don't have the same TV draw. But if you watch the game, you're going to probably want to come back and watch game 2 because that was pretty exciting.
For sure. I still think this is going to be a great series. Regardless, I think this is going to be a good series.
Could not agree more. And last night was outstanding. So, we'll see. I don't have a Padre lineup yet, Tony. Do you have access to anything yet?
No lineup yet.
I'm refreshing right now. Out
still no lineup.
Speaks.
Yeah, right. Mike Schultz going to be talking to the media in about a half an hour, so we'll get the latest on Xander. We'll get the latest on Luis Ariz. I'm sure people will ask him about Dylan Cease. A couple of quick things, Tony. We got a minute before the bottom of the hour, but your thoughts. Jose Iglesias, was this just a one-off brain cramp, do you think, or did you see something there that we couldn't see as to why he didn't slide? Yeah.
He had the double in the 7th, and
you said Luis Ariz?
No, Iglesias.
Yeah, Iglesias.
I meant.
No, I don't think it was a brain cramp. I think he saw where the throw was, and he saw where he was.
Okay.
And I think he was anticipating as an infielder that he was, because he had his back turned. I think it was Fitzgerald. He had his back turned.
Okay.
That he was just going to turn and try to apply the tag downwards.
Ah.
And so he stayed on his feet thinking he could try to sneak around the back. And Fitzgerald just did a nice job being able to clip his jersey.
Okay.
Otherwise, he would have got in there safely.
All right. See?
But
We're we're all over that play, but that makes more sense now.
I can see why initially people were like, "Yo, why didn't he slide?"
Yeah.
But after we saw the replay, you can kind of see what he was looking at and why he tried to go that route.
All right.
I got to ask Tony this. When Toddy hit that ball, did you think it was gone?
Yes, I did. The ball was dying. The ball was dying in center field twice.
Yeah.
Those balls were touched up and they didn't go nowhere.
Yep.
Yeah, too bad, because he had the bat flip and people are making, giving him a hard time. What they're not pointing out is what Scraby pointed out. The analytics say every time a ball's hit like that
to that part of the park,
it's a home run.
Or a extra
at least
base
a double, yeah.
His
he
ball,
got nothing
the
out of it.
only one that was an out of 15.
Yeah, that's called Mother Nature doing its thing. All right, let's get to break. On the other side, Friar Friday, Sean Reynolds, Padre reliever, joins us next on Gwynn and Chris.
Ben and Woods on the Fan.
welcome back. I start saying welcome back as I reach for the button to hit my mic on. Sometimes you don't hear me.
You just turned yourself off.
I was giving an example of when I don't hit the button.
I was like, what are you doing?
That was an example, Scrabe. Gwynn and Chris, Tony's in Milwaukee. Padres are there. Sean Reynolds coming out of a pitcher's meeting will be joining us. He's going to have a few minutes to catch up with us here shortly. So we look forward to that. But in the meantime, yes, the lineup is out, and there's nothing but good news in the lineup. As far as, whether you're worried about Luis Arraez or Xander Bogaerts, because Tony, the Padres went 2 for 2 there. Both guys are ready. Give a little credit to that training staff.
Yes.
Behind the scenes, people don't see how much these guys work to help get these players in the lineup sometimes.
Yeah, Ricky Horta is one of the many trainers they have down there, does a terrific job. And yes, Luis Arraez in the lineup as a designated hitter. Who was the other one? Xander Bogaerts also back in the lineup as a shortstop.
Right.
So, yeah, you have that. Those were the two guys you were probably most concerned about being able to play today, and they are all in the lineup.
A lot of talk, Tony, out here by, I don't want to say overreactors, but people that are looking at the slump Fernando has been in, looking at the slump that Jackson Merrill has been in, and saying we need to switch things up. Get Fernando maybe out of the leadoff spot, maybe drop Jackson down. My thought has been that when you got something that's good, you ride out a slump. And that's always, to me, worked best. What do you say about this? I mean, should Schilt be mixing and matching to try to figure this out until they get hot again?
Well, I know he certainly isn't there yet, and I don't think he should be yet. I don't think that's something that he wants to do right away. I think there's multiple reasons, too. I think one thing we know about Mike is he's always going to show support or have ultimate confidence in his guys, right?
Yeah.
Especially the ones we're talking about here. And so I think because of that, he's not going to move on something like that until he feels like it is absolutely necessary. And I don't think he thinks they're there yet. I don't think they're there yet.
Fernando's starting to hit the ball a little bit harder, as evidenced by that fly out and 3 hits the night before that.
Yeah, no, I think he's finding his way. This is kind of how it works. He's trying to figure out the timing, and I think a lot of it has been made of body language and him not looking happy. And
whatever.
And the other.
Yeah,
that's
getting old.
At the end of the day, baseball isn't fun when you are making outs often, especially when you were. It's the topic of conversation in terms of early MVP candidates 1 month before. So yeah, I could see why he's a little salty. He keeps making outs, and it's a frustrating thing to go through. But yeah, no, I when the time is right, as it was, last year when he made some of the moves he made, I think he'll do it if it gets to that.
Jackson Merrill, this is his first prolonged stretch, Tony. I think he's hitting 205 in the last 20 games. Anything you're seeing, or is it just not making the kind of same contact we've seen him make all year for whatever reason?
No, I don't think it's not. I don't think it's about contact at all. I think it's more about his strike zone. Like, he swings early when he's going good. He swings early when he's going bad, right? So that's kind of just his characteristic. But he is chasing more and swinging at pitches out of the zone more than I think he normally has. And I think that's really the difference. The ball, when he hits it, it's coming off the same way. It's he's still swinging it good. It's just, I think his pitch selection is a little bit off right now.
All right. We're going to visit with Sean Reynolds here. Darren Feeney doing a nice job there in Milwaukee, helping us track him down. I know he's only got a few minutes. Sean, thanks for coming on today. Kind of quick notice. Always good to talk a little Padre baseball. And how are things coming out of that split in San Francisco for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely, fellas. Thanks for having me. It's good, man. It's obviously a tough stretch of the season that we're in, but the vibe is good. It always is. And, just excited to play baseball every day and compete. I think, obviously I can't speak for everybody, but I feel like that certainly is the energy that everybody brings every day from the top down. So it's fun to be a part of.
John, you had a tremendous outing the other night. You had to go out through 3 innings for this ball club, and at a time that the bullpen needed. They needed somebody to step up. You were that guy. What was? Did you know ahead of time that might be a role that you had to fill where it was multiple innings like that? And does your preparation change at all on a day that you may know that you are going to have a little heavier workload?
That's a good question. I think. Well, first of all, thank you. I appreciate the kind words. No, I think, that kind of started developing last year in AAA. They floated the idea down when I was down there that, start kind of stretching out the outings and getting used to going multiple, and obviously for this reason. So no, but to answer your question, I don't think the preparation or the mindset really changes. I've said this and I'll say it again to whoever is listening that I'm just here to help the team win, man. I don't really have any ego involved or any care in terms of the situation of the game or anything like that. So no, I think just you try to stay present with each pitch the best you can. And if I throw, 1 inning or 3 innings or however many they need that day, then, just 1 pitch at a time and trying to, just help the boys out and give us the best possible chance to win, whether it's, like you said, I come in when we're down or up or tied or whatever. The job of the bullpen is to keep the game where it's at. So that's really my only focus.
Sean Reynolds doing a good job of that for the Padres. Sean, where did you learn, would you say, not to pitch so much, but where did you learn to get the kind of stuff that you have? Or do you think this was a God-given thing, or was it a combination of both? The ball moves all over the place out there. I'm glad I don't have to try to hit it. That's all.
Yeah, right. No, I'd say probably a combination of both, to be honest. Obviously, everyone that's a major league pitcher or hitter has, a world of God-given ability, but it's taken a lot of work and a lot of days of practice, and going back to obviously before even being a pro, it's just your whole life of throwing a ball and kind of learning what works and what doesn't. And but yeah, I think just a lot of days in throwing program. When I made the transition from hitting to pitching, I kind of looked at it like, when you're a hitter, you can go and take 1,000 swings a day, and it really doesn't tax your body or, especially your arm the way throwing does. So when we're in throwing program and we get our chance to, do our work before the game, whether or not, especially in the minor leagues, and you kind of know your schedule a little bit better and it's more mapped out. You got to make all those throws count. So I've just tried my best to, like I said before, just be present with whether it's in the game on the mound, in a tight situation, or if we're playing catch on the line. It's like you got to be present with what you're doing and really put all your focus into trying to get better in whatever capacity it is that day. So yeah, it's definitely, obviously the talent is God given, and I appreciate that always, but it's definitely taken a lot of hard work to craft what I'm working with now.
Sean Reynolds joins us, Padre reliever, off to a terrific start. I think this guy has a extremely high ceiling for this ball club. And Sean, you came into camp, prepared to make a team, and you have a setback like the stress reaction in your foot. How difficult was that for you to deal with? Because it just seemed like it just couldn't get better in time for you to really get back on the mound before we broke camp. Was that a difficult thing to kind of deal with? You have a chance to make the club out of camp and then have this setback?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You always want to be out there competing, and even if it is spring training, it was killing me every day to be, it was either me or strength, me and strength coach, or me and a few other guys just kind of in the weight room, doing our thing and trying to rehab while, the rest of the team was out on the field, practicing and, enjoying camp. So obviously always difficult when you can't be out there, but at the same time, it's like, once the initial kind of shock value of the diagnosis happened, and then, you kind of are bummed out obviously for a day or two, but after that, it's like, what can I do to get better every day and try and make this as short of a recovery as possible? So, yeah, definitely extremely difficult, but at the same time, like, grateful for the experience. Definitely taught me a lot, and it makes being out here every day definitely that much sweeter to know that, you know, obviously we're blessed to be able to do what we do, and you know, it can be taken away at a moment's notice. So just really trying to enjoy every day and stay present with where I'm at. And yeah, man, it's been a fun ride so far.
Sean, we'll let you go on this. You're Southern California kid, Redondo Beach. What high school?
Yes, sir.
What high school was it?
Redondo Union.
It was Redondo Union.
Yes, sir.
I pitched many a game in that stadium.
Oh yeah.
I went to Beverly Hills High, which I think was an Ocean League
rival. Oh no way! Yeah,
Redondo.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Way back in the day, pitched a lot of games there. So I can kind of picture
fantastic.
where you grew up, and you know, congrats on making it where, you know, guys like me never made it. But
oh, well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely a blast to be a part of, and you know, it's a crazy team to be on as a rookie, and just try to soak it in every day and remind myself, you know, how lucky I am and all of us are to be able to come to big league stadiums and, you know, and play baseball around the country. It's a lot of fun.
Well done, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, appreciate it, fellas. Have a great day.
Yes, sir. Sean Reynolds right there, our Padre Friar Friday guest. Yeah, Redondo Union High, Tony. I don't know if you had a stadium like this up in the Poway, or maybe it was your stadium. But, you know, whenever there was some sort of tournament involving, you know, local teams or summer teams or, you know, all-star tournaments, we always played at Redondo Union High because they had the best baseball field. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
I think the best baseball field at the time and when I was playing was probably Carlsbad. I think Upper Deck had redone their field at the time.
Yeah.
So they had like the pristine grass. It was a beautiful, beautiful field. Yeah, that was usually the place everybody went to.
I know people probably think it was Beverly Hills High that had the best field. We didn't. We played inside of a track, a running track.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that was our baseball field. It was inside the running track. The right field fence was like 150 feet away.
I was just about to ask, was this a rectangular field?
Yes, and left field was like 700 feet away.
I mean, the space inside the track is normally a football field, or so
right.
You guys had a.
And that's where we played our baseball games. I mean, Beverly Hills High School, we couldn't afford a baseball field. So, all right. I'll let you go,
fellas,
Tony. I know you got to get down there.
I got to roll out.
Yes, sir.
It's good to have the group back.
Yes, we are back.
Yes, it is.
Have a good weekend in Milwaukee. We'll see you next week for Dodgers coming to town.
Yes, you will. That's right. All right, you guys have a good weekend.
You too.
There he goes. Tony heading down to go visit with Mike Schilt. The manager meets at the top of the hour. And it takes, a few minutes to get down there. Even when you are Tony Gwynn, and you probably give him a police escort down to the field, Scraby, for his pregame interviews.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, yeah, this is good news that you got Arise and Bogarts in there tonight.
Huge news.
Yeah, they need kind of everything right now. Fernando's leading off. Donato catching, and this keeps reminding me, maybe Arise needs to DH tonight, after being removed from the game. So Sheets is at first base, but I also still think this is further proof that we're not going to see any more Sheets in left field. It seems like it's becoming kind of a strict platoon with Wade and Lockridge sharing left field right now.
You're probably
something I'm
right.
noticing.
You're probably right.
We'll see.
I wouldn't go as far as to say it's
yeah, you never say never.
No, never say never, but I was going to say, what was the word that you used yesterday?
Irresponsible.
I wouldn't go as far as say that because he's just playing baseball.
I know you wouldn't say it, but I will keep saying it because I don't want the guy to get hurt. He drove in all of our runs in San Francisco practically.
That is true.
Between he and Manny, the non-clutch Manny Machado, who, pretty much wins every game for the Padres now, and also not only singled in the tying runs a couple days ago, but led off the ninth with a hit yesterday to give the Padres another chance.
I mean,
Manny is third in the league in batting average right now.
Yeah,
third in the National League.
Where's Aaron Judge? I haven't checked on him in a while.
Well, he's still atop the American League. But the average has come down a little, not much, 392. Still pretty good.
That is really good.
Yeah, the only two guys ahead of Manny in the National League are both Dodgers.
Great.
Freddie Freeman.
Shohei.
And Will Smith.
Oh,
no,
what?
Shohei Ohtani's not.
I thought he was hitting
that high in the average category.
Oh.
Shohei is at 295, which is good, but not league leading material.
295 these days, though. That's like top 5.
Almost. There's only 15 major league players, 15 right now hitting 300 or better. It's not many.
All right, so I feel better about Luis Ariz hitting 282.
I don't. We talked about this yesterday. Luis Ariz, and I will never not love watching this guy flick the ball to left center field and put his bat on the ball and make contact and hit. I appreciate what he does, but to be valuable, like really valuable, he's got to hit 320 because he doesn't walk.
We talked about it earlier today,
right?
Yeah, it's like a weird thing to say. He's not valuable unless he hits 320. But we saw it. I can't remember which game of this week it was, but you say it all the time that he clogs the bases, and there was a play where someone hit a double and he had to stop at third, and some other guys would score that run. And so that is a deal. It's a deal if you're not doing Luis Ariz things.
Not that Manny or Merrill are going to steal a lot of bases behind him, but if he's at second base when they're at first base, they are certainly not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Not everybody can steal third. I get that. But Luis Ariz is not a threat at all out there. He does have 2 steals. I don't even know where he got those from this year, to be honest with you.
That is interesting.
And he does have 11 walks, which is 11 more than I thought he had, because he does swing at everything.
Do you think that they're having a conversation with him at some point? Like, we need you to take more. We need you to walk more.
We were talking to somebody yesterday, said that he tells himself this all the time. Like,
I think it was on the round table.
Right. Yes, right. It was on the round table. He's always trying to walk more. It's just not in his DNA.
I love when
neither is a strikeout, by the way. He's only got 5 strikeouts. Just by way of comparison, Aaron Judge, the best hitter in the world, has 60 strikeouts. Shohei Ohtani, who's even a better hitter than him, according to most people, has 73 strikeouts.
Who's got the most? Ellie De La Cruz again?
Ellie De La Cruz. I do want to point this out. He's in the hunt. He's got 75. There are a few guys that are actually ahead of him. The league leader right now is Michael Tolia of the Albuquerque Dukes. Colorado sent him down to the minor leagues.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, but he's at 81. But Ellie De La Cruz, I saw this yesterday or 2 days ago, and I don't know if I have time to call the exact numbers up. I don't. But somebody wrote somewhere, he's in his, 3rd or 4th year as a major league player,
yes.
Ellie De La Cruz?
Yeah, I think I know where you're going with this.
He's already now struck out more times in his career than Tony's dad did.
Yeah.
In the whole time. And I want to make official, this is Ellie De La Cruz's 3rd season. He's played 2 1/3 seasons, and he's already struck out more times in his career than Tony's dad did in 20 years.
He's exciting, though.
Sure he is. But is that the way we, want it to be? I think a lot of people say, yeah, because we don't care about the strikeout. Like Tony Jr. said, when he played, it was, quote, embarrassing to strike out 2 or 3 times in a game.
Yeah.
Now, anybody hardly bats an eye.
Justin Verlander's doing a pitching to hitters, and he just gave up a big home run to whoever that was. Not that it matters. I just wanted to say it.
Yeah. Next time you jump in, say something that matters.
That did matter, though.
You just said it didn't matter.
Well, now that you told me it did matter, now that I think it does matter.
Daily Gambit matters. Hour number 2 of Gwynn and Chris matters. Heading towards Sam Levitt's pregame show at 4:10 today ahead of Padre baseball. 97.3 The Fan. Head toward Padre baseball here on what is finally a Friday. And finally, Matt Scraby is back with us here on Gwynn and Chris. Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr. is in Milwaukee. Tony was on first hour of the show. Now he's down doing his pregame rigmarole.
He said it's a very, very nice day in Milwaukee.
He did. He gave us a little weather report there. Game 1 of the series will feature Randy Vasquez.
I love him.
You love him.
I do. I was talking to Sam about this earlier.
What'd you say?
I like how dramatic he makes everything, even if it makes people tear their hair out.
I'm glad you like that.
I do like I do like him getting out of innings when he's not supposed to, stuff like that. So.
Why anybody would wish for him to put people on base is beyond me, but
I don't wish for it.
Well, you apparently do.
I embrace it.
Apparently you do. Chad Patrick is the right-hander going for the Brew Crew. Don't know a lot about him. Young guy from Crown Point, Indiana. He's 26. He started 7 games, and he's got a pretty good ERA, 2.37. We talked to look, I hate to say it, but everybody's been pitching pretty well against the Padres, except for those 2 Miami games last weekend. Padres are not scoring a lot of runs since the 21-0 win over the Rockies. And this is Sam Levitt's statistics. So if it's wrong, blame him. Since the 21-0 win over the Rockies, Sam tells me that Padres have the lowest OPS in all of baseball. That's been 3 weeks ago now, 3.5 weeks.
That's concerning.
Anytime you're lower than the Pirates in offense, that's not a good thing. So, you got to scratch and claw and find a way. And frankly, in that span, their record is 10-13. That isn't as bad as being last in OPS would suggest.
That's very true.
So you can look at it that way.
We talked to Jeff Levering from Milwaukee. He's the Brewers radio and TV play-by-play guy.
Oh, good to see you getting some guests for your show.
I didn't do it. It was Frank.
Oh, okay. Way to go, Frank.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I figured I should have known you didn't do it.
Yeah. Well, he texted me last night. Hey, we got the Brewers play-by-play broadcaster, and I was like, cool. You want to start working for me too? Come on now. Working with me. I won't say for me. But we talked to him and I asked him about Chad Patrick and he said he's been surprising to people.
Sure.
And he throws strikes. So,
well, you'll have one pitcher throwing strikes and one pitcher throwing balls tonight. I hope that the one throwing balls gets the game ball at the end.
Oh, look at that.
All right, let's go to today's Daily Gambit. See how things are matching.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in the Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. I was not here for some bets, so I pass it back to Chris.
Frank and I did a bunch of stuff this week.
Okay.
I had a rare 8-0 day.
Dang.
I think it was Tuesday.
Is there proof of this?
I don't know. I guess you'd have to go back to the tape.
Okay, fine. I
listen
can
to my
do that.
picks
You're
if
right,
you really
you're
want
right.
to.
You're right.
For the week, I was 14-7, which is quite good.
That is good.
But Frank beat me. Frank 15-6.
What the heck is his secret?
Luck, I think.
Oh man. Okay.
First, beginner's luck.
All right.
I would say. So we head into the weekend with a bunch of stuff to talk about. We'll start with the Padres and Brew Crew tonight. 8.5 runs is your over-under total. It is difficult to bet over when the Padres are concerned right now. They have to keep the games close. They're not scoring a bunch. The Brewers are 9-10, but the Padres, I don't think are going to win a high-scoring game. They're going to have to find a way. I'm going to keep it under tonight again until Until I see Fernando and Merrill start breaking out of it a little bit.
Felt like I saw it yesterday.
Okay.
Even though they didn't have a successful result, I felt like I saw it. I said this earlier today, but the Padres seem to play their best when their back is against the wall. And
you're feeling it's against the wall.
I said it wasn't quite against the wall, but coming home, playing the Dodgers after, say, getting swept by the Brewers is not a good
That's
feeling.
not how you want to go into that.
No,
for sure.
So I'm going to say that they figure it out and they go over.
Go over. So you think like the Padres by themselves will go over like 9-0?
It's going to be a 5-4. 5-4
yeah,
win.
okay.
5-4 win.
Dodgers, who have a 2-game lead, before they come to San Diego, they're going to St. Louis this weekend, take on the surprising Redbirds. Dodgers favored by 1.5 tonight. Dodgers starting pitcher tonight is Justin Wroblewski. Why does that sound so familiar? Well, I don't know, because he's been starting a few games. I mean, this is what the Dodgers are down to now. Cardinals, they're having a nice season.
They are.
I don't think anybody expected the Cardinals to be doing anything. And they're doing all right. The Cardinals are throwing Sonny Gray, who I think is one of their best pitchers. In fact, I know he's one of their best pitchers. Dodgers favored by 1.5 here. What do you got? Boy, a long thought.
This one does confuse me a little bit. Going Cardinals.
I'll take Cardinals just based on the starting pitching matchup. Mets are 1.5 at Colorado.
Uh-oh.
Don't look now. Rockies coming off a sweep of the Marlins, but just as soon as they finally do something, bad news for the Rockies. Their shortstop Ezekiel Tovar back to the injured list today. And here's more bad news. Kodai Senga's pitching for the Mets tonight. I think I'll go with them.
Though.
It doesn't matter. The Rockies don't score anywhere.
Okay.
And even if you look at their 3-game sweep of the Marlins, I think they only scored 10 runs. I'll take the Mets.
I'll go Mets too.
Good matchup tonight in Detroit.
Detroit.
You've got 2 division leaders, 2 of the best records in the league. In fact, I'm pretty sure I know. The best record in the American League right now is the Tigers.
It is.
The best record in the National League is? Do you know?
Would it be the Mets?
It's the Cubs.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
And tonight, the Cubs play the Tigers. So there you have it. Matchup of the 2 best in the league. Ben Brown for the Cubs. Tarek Skubal.
Oh, gosh.
Detroit. 7.5 strikeouts for Skubal. Over, under. Skubal, 7.5 strikeouts.
Am I at first?
Yes.
I'm going to go over.
Over? Not me. Cubs are tough. They're going to find a way to keep it under. You cannot watch that game tonight. It's on Apple TV+.
Oh, great.
The Stanley Cup Finals continue tonight. Game 2 in Edmonton. Edmonton took the opener in a overtime thriller, 4-3. Oilers are favored by 1.5 in Game 2 tonight. I think this is a no-brainer. The defending Stanley Cup champs, Florida, will even the series, I predict. I will take them.
I'll go the other way then.
You'll take the Oil.
The Oilers.
6.5 goals is over-under for this game. You got any thoughts there? There were 7 scored in the series opener.
I don't really have a good indication of what's going to happen, but I'll say over.
Okay. They were under the other night until overtime, which it's one of those weird things. You get to the end of the game, and at the over-under 6.5, and the score is tied 3-3. Even though you're winning at that moment, you've lost because somebody is going to score in overtime.
That's true.
It's kind of a weird dynamic. I'll take under. Tomorrow, it is Sabalenka, the number 1 seed at the French Open. 3.5 game favorite over the number 2 American Coco Gauff. This is tough. I really like Coco Gauff. She fights and scraps and battles, and she's talented. And she could be an American winning the French Open, which hardly ever happens on that surface. But Sabalenka is a I'm telling you, she's an absolute machine.
Okay.
So I'm going to take Sabalenka. I don't want to.
Is it straight up or what? What
minus 3.5.
Minus 3.5
games.
Okay. I see.
So Sabalenka would have to win like 6-4, 6-4 for me to win that at the moment.
I'll cheer for the American.
You
and
should.
Go for Coco Gauff.
Coco's got a fighting chance. But Sabalenka put it on the defending champion Swiatek the other day in the final set, 6-love, and nobody does that to Swiatek. All right, one more. Sunday, it'll be game 2 of the NBA Finals.
Because they needed 3 days off in between.
Yeah, exactly. I love that too. Oklahoma City, the Vegas people not undaunted after their loss last night, where they were favored by 9.5 points. Undaunted Vegas now makes them 11-point favorites in game 2.
My gosh.
What do you got here? It's obviously at OKC.
I don't think OKC loses another one, but I don't know that it's going to be a blowout, so I'll say Pacers.
Pacers plus 11. I think Pacers will not be blown out. They should have been last night. I'll take OKC, though, because I think they will even the series. And they normally win by, double digits when they win. All right, there's our picks for the weekend.
Good.
What do you got tonight between Texas and Texas Tech for the softball title? I know you're rooting for Texas because you don't want to see Patrick Mahomes celebrate.
Oh, I don't care about
Yes,
that.
you do. You were so upset that he was even had the audacity to show up at the game. You'll be even more upset to hear this.
What?
He bought gear for all the players.
Well, that's nice of him.
Oh, okay. You're happy with that?
I honestly did not know that was allowed in college. You could pay players, but
it's NIL. You can do anything you want. It's free.
Didn't you say that you giving a soda to one of the Aztec women
15 years ago?
Okay, so it's changed.
Yes, you can buy whatever you want now.
Did he buy about the whole team gear?
Got the whole team gear.
All right, that's
job.
very nice of him.
We'll see if Matthew McConaughey tries to get the Texas team gear before tonight's game.
Yeah,
try to match.
I didn't even think about that, but he has to be there, right?
Come on.
He's Mr. Texas.
Come on. All right, we'll take a break. More Gwynn and Chris ahead after traffic.
No, sorry, that was my fault. I'm getting used to this being back here with you guys thing.
It's going on.
Coming your way tonight on 97.3 The Fan. As a matter of fact, you better dial it in for the weekend. Because after tonight, Padre baseball disappears from where you normally find it on television. Tomorrow's game will be the national game on Fox. So you might be able to locate that. But I challenge everybody to find the game Sunday morning. Good luck, unless you know what the hell Roku channel is. Because Scraby doesn't even know that I know it's not going to be easy to find.
I mean,
and you're not coming up with any answers for me at all.
Well, I'm looking on the chat, and they're telling me that there's a free TV app, but then someone said you had to sign up for the live TV version of the Roku app. And so I've been thinking a lot about this.
Sunday morning, what are you going to do?
Oh, no, not about that.
Oh.
I've been thinking about how stupid Rob Manfred is, because he's made it so hard for fans to access his sport. And the more I think about Rob Manfred, the more I think how much he's going to mess up this TV situation.
I got to believe, look, Padre fans, you guys are going to do everything you can within reason, to find the game Sunday morning, try to watch it. Me personally, I'm just not even going to go there. I'll just wait for the highlights. Honestly, I'm not giving it a try. But I think I'm in the majority. I don't think a lot of people are even going to bother. I'm going to go to Spiro's and, take advantage of their 10 a.m. brunch. It's not worth it. I mean, the one time I did it on the football, because it was a playoff game.
It caused a lot
of problem for me, man. It took me 7 months to extract myself from the contract.
That is true.
And all I wanted to do was pay $5 and watch a football game. So streaming has made it difficult on some of us. Others just laugh it off. I get you. I know it's okay for you, but just understand there's other people out there. And we've talked about this before, Scraby. Even though we make fun of me on the show, correctly so, that I'm, kind of too old for this newfangled stuff, I'm actually better at it than a lot of people my age in my generation.
I've had some DMs that have told me that, yes, you are better than a lot of people.
So if I'm not willing to try to find the Padre game Sunday, I imagine there's quite a few out there who won't. But you're right. Baseball, everybody else thinks that they got to stream, this stuff. And, this is my other last quick thing that bugs me about streaming. When you do have a game on streaming, because I've tried to watch a couple of the SDFC matches, and that's another story that we could get into another time. I mean, I wish those were more easier to access too. But let's say I really don't have a lot of time to watch the game, but I want to check in and see how things are going. You cannot turn on the TV, click one button, and be there. You've got to get signed up. You've got to get in there. You got to find the right app. You have to scroll down and find the game. And then even once you press that little thing will spin around for 3 minutes.
But you know what happens, too.
It takes too long. After that, I'm like, I'll look the score up on my phone and go home, or I'm at home, but you know what I mean? It's enough. I don't have the time. Who has the time for this anymore?
When you log it, I get home. I turn on the cable box. I turn on the TV.
Okay.
Hit the guide button. Have to go all the way down. Because I have no idea where the game's on, so I got to go find it.
Well, I know. I mean, if there's a game on ESPN, I turn it on. I hit 29, and I'm there. 29. Boom.
Your ESPN is what's your
29.
What's your Padres channel?
305, I believe.
I guess we have the same.
Probably have the same.
No,
we both live north of the 8, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Anyway, good luck finding the games Friday, but or Sunday. You can hear them all here, of course, with Jesse and Tony. Starting tonight. Couple of quick baseball notes for those just tuned in. A pretty big story in baseball today. Corbin Burns, former Cy Young Award winner, going to make a ton of money to sit and do nothing for about a year and a half.
That's one
way to look at it.
Yes.
He's going to have Tommy John surgery. Don't you think in a fair world, the Diamondbacks should say to Corbin Burns, okay, you got to have Tommy John surgery. That's fair. But here's what else is fair. You make all the money. You pay for it.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he should have to pay for it.
Who should?
The team.
Why?
Because he's operating under. If I got hurt here, the company would pay for my medical bills.
Don't be so sure.
You're right.
You better check the fine print on that one, pal.
They would be like, well, we have this video of you. And you fell on your own.
That's right. It's your responsibility. I don't know. I mean, who can afford it more, the team or Corbin Burns? I guess the team can, but I'm sure Corbin Burns. How much do you think it costs?
For a Tommy,
never really thought about that.
My shoulder surgery was like upwards of, and this is not a number that I paid, but like $20,000.
Yeah,
I would assume it's more because that's a more intensive surgery than
according to what
surgery.
I just typed in. How much does Tommy John surgery cost? Says between 15 and 50 grand.
I'm thinking it's.
I'm
50.
assuming they're the pricier people. Yeah. So 40. 50,
Neil Elatrosh is the guy. He's the guy who's charging 50.
Look, 50 grand. That's more than a lot of people's yearly paycheck. Seriously is. To get a surgery.
Tony tells me, though, that Major League Baseball has really, really good insurance, which they should. But
I would imagine they're paying the highest possible premiums for those things.
But don't you think that if you were say this light fell on you and it hit you in the eye and then your eye was messed up and you needed eye surgery, don't you think that the company would have to pay for that?
I hope so, but I don't know.
It's a good point.
Couple of other notes. Braves, you mentioned this, I think, yesterday to me. Craig Kimbrell.
Yep.
Who is a closer for the Braves in 1983.
Yep.
Is like back closing for the Braves. They have, anyway, the Braves gave up 7 in the 9th yesterday. So they have turned to Craig Kimbrell. Here's the guy that they sent to the minor leagues. Or no, I beg your pardon. They traded right-hander to the Baltimore Orioles today out of their bullpen. You know what the guy's name is? Scott Blewett.
Oh, I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard
worst
that
name
before.
you could ever have for a reliever, I would think. Anyway, that's the Braves news. Rockies, I told you, Ezekiel Tovar to the injured list again. I think it's the second time for him. Oakland A's, Shea Langeliers, injured list, 10-day. A's had lost 9 in a row until yesterday. I think they won. The A's have been in a free fall, and people are starting to complain loudly now out of that Oakland organization
about
playing in the minor league ballpark. These guys are major leaguers. They don't want
the players are complaining.
Yes, they don't want to be inconvenienced. They don't want to sound bad, so they're not blabbing it out loud. But you're hearing more and more about it.
You have every right to be mad, Oakland A's.
I think so. You worked your whole life to make the major leagues, and now you have to play. You get a minor league situation.
Like Luis Severino signed a 3-year deal with them. He might not even get to play in the new stadium. He's just going to play in a minor league park the rest of his time there.
Money well spent by the A's. I believe he has 1 win.
How much do you think that Craig Kimbrell has made in his career?
Oh, I don't know. He's been around since the
dawn of time.
Yeah.
He's made, I'm going to round up, $128 million in his career.
Pretty good.
That is incredible.
We talked about the Dodgers starting left-hander Justin Wroblewski tonight. He was just recalled today. 24-year-old rookie Landon Knack, otherwise known as Landon Knack, was sent back to AAA for the Blue Crew. All right. Take a break. Got your Big Five? I can't wait. There's a lot of good stuff today I was going to talk about, but I saved it for you, assuming you'll have it in the Big Five. We'll see if I'm right or not. We'll see if I'm right or not when Gwynn and Chris resumes after a quick break for the bottom of the hour break. What's up? As we get back underway here, Gwynn and Chris on 97.3 The Fan. This is going to be our final segment today. We're going to extend on a little past the top of the hour as we get ready for Padre baseball. Sam Levitt's pregame show. We have, during this segment, a pair of tickets to next Wednesday's Dodgers-Padres game to give away.
Yes, grab tickets at padres.com/tickets.
So I'd say that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do this necessarily because I want to do a trivia question and you would have to answer the phones.
Let's answer them.
Got it. All right. Here's the question, and we'll just take you live on the air, so nobody swear.
Yes.
Or I swear, you're going to get in trouble.
Yeah, if you swear,
so don't do it.
The Dodgers tickets are gone.
Yeah, we'll keep them. There you go.
We can't do that,
but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You'll lose out for everybody. All right, so everybody don't, and Scraby, he's not going to start opening the phones till I'm done with the questions, so don't start dialing right now. He'll just hang up on you.
I'm locking them right now.
Okay, here's the question. I thought this up this morning when I was looking stuff up, and this is how my mind goes. I was looking at football stuff, and I started thinking to myself, Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl 5 of the last 6 years. Beyond that, they've been to 7 straight AFC championship games. That's crazy for anyone to be able to accomplish that.
That is.
Well, before them, the Patriots were in the AFC championship, it seemed like every year. So what did I want to know? Who are the 2 teams who played each other in the AFC championship game the last time neither the Chiefs nor the Patriots were in it?
Oh, that's a fantastic question.
All right. So whoever comes up with that first is going to win. Now, I'm sure you're going to run and look it up, but
That's fine.
It might be too late if somebody else can get it first. Winner gets 2 tickets to see the Dodgers Padre game next Wednesday. Again, the question, you got to name, not the year, you just got to name the 2 teams that played in the AFC championship game the last time that neither the Chiefs nor the Patriots were in the game.
And if we take your call and you say, what's the question?
Yeah, don't say that. Just come on with an answer. Otherwise, we'll hang up on you immediately.
We will. And it's one of my favorite things to do.
I know you love to do it. And please don't swear because we're trusting you.
We already had someone swear on the Braden Soprano show this week.
Now, let's not do it again.
All right. I'm going to unlock
All right, he's locked
the
the phones. He's unlocked the phones. So everybody's dialing in. Where are you going here, Scrabe? I don't have my die. I wish I had that so I could roll that and we'd choose what line to pick. So we had kind of a fair thing. Where would it be?
I don't know. I'm just going to pick line. I'm not going to look, and I'm going to pick line 2.
Line 2. It is.
Jason.
Looks like Jason.
Jason, do you know the answer to the
Jason,
trivia
give us
question?
an answer. The 2 teams who played in the AFC title game.
Give me the Bills and the Ravens.
Not correct.
Not correct.
Not correct. All right, next. Why don't you just go down the row? 3.
Okay, 3 is Daniel.
Okay. Hi, Daniel. Who is it?
Hey.
Who are the 2 teams?
And the AFC West Championship?
Hang up on Daniel. Doesn't know the question.
Sorry, Daniel.
On to Jake in North Park. You need to know the question.
But he did. Never mind.
He said the AFC West Championship.
You're right.
That's not
okay.
it.
All right. Hello, Jake.
Jake, what do you got?
Okay, I think I have this. I think it is the Steelers and the Jets.
Wow.
Jake, go to the head of the class, and we'll see you at the game Wednesday. Well done.
Stay there, Jake. That was.
Did you just for fun, did you get that without looking it up? Because I couldn't even have done that.
No, I got to put him back on.
Put him back up.
Jake.
Uh-oh.
Why is this not working?
No, don't hang up on him, Jake. Don't go anywhere, Jake.
If you get hung up on Jake, you call me right back.
Yeah, because Scraby's having a problem with your phone line.
It's all of a sudden not working.
All right. Jake's the winner.
Okay, there he is, Jake.
Okay, there you are. Jake, did you look it up or did you know that somehow?
I had to phone a friend. I know nothing about football.
You phoned a friend.
That's fine. I mean, that's
a win.
okay.
Tell your
Stay
friend.
Right there, Jake.
Tell your friend. Great job, because that's right. I did not know that. I had to look it up myself earlier today. That was at the end of the 2010 season, Scraby. 14 years ago was the last time neither the Chiefs nor the Patriots were in the AFC Championship game, and that game was a victory for the Steelers over the Jets.
That is crazy.
Very good. All right, so Jake will go to the game. Hopefully, who gave him the answer.
Yeah, that's true.
And he'll get to go to see the Dodgers and the Padres on Wednesday. There's one other thing. Thank you guys for partaking in that.
I'm going to get Jake while you talk.
All right. Yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention, Scraby, after every show, takes about probably, quite a bit of time of his own time, and he sends out a podcast of the program. I don't know if everybody's aware of this. Maybe you don't get an alert on your phone, so you're not sure it's there. You don't know it's there. Here's the deal. If you miss any part of the show, or there's a segment of the show like today, our interview with Sean Reynolds, or, a day you missed the Big Five or something like this, and you want to hear it, you can always go to wherever you get podcasts and search for Gwynn and Chris. Scraby does send out podcasts of the show and different segments so that you can listen when you want to. And this is something that I'm a little slow to come around to myself, Scraby, because, I'm kind of newfangled to all of this. And to me, you just listen to the radio, and when it's on, you hear it. But that's not the way we all take in our entertainment these days, is it? Anyway, be apprised and let everybody else know. Make a note of it. If you want to catch any part of the show later on in the evening, the next morning on your way to work, whatever it might be, you can find the Gwynn and Chris podcast there. Wherever you get your podcast, Scraby, or is there anything in particular?
No. You can also go to YouTube and watch the show over again if you want to. Search 97.3 The Fan. But I work very hard on these podcasts.
I know you do, and that's why I think we should start promoting them a little bit more.
That's nice of you.
Because I notice it pops up on my phone all the time, and I don't tell anybody else about it. So I'm telling everybody else out there. The podcasts are there whenever, let's say you go for a jog at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Some of us do that.
Yeah.
Take the podcast along, listen to whatever part of the show.
I'm a massive podcast listener, not just stuff that we do
I know
here
a
on
lot
the
of
station.
people are. A lot of people
I listen to tons of podcasts.
Yeah. So anyway, we're there if you need that. I think that's all of the P's and Q's I had.
Are you ready for the Big Five then?
And I'm, but I need traffic first.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Got a crash heading out of the South Bay, northbound 805 at East H Street. Couple vehicles involved, not showing up lanes are blocked, but up ahead, they did clear up that overturn crash near Home Avenue, so that's good news. Hopefully no one was hurt from that. Stalled vehicle south 805 right before the 163. It's just been cleared out of the fast lane. Then reports of a mattress in the fast lane right before Market Street. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
Hold on. Brandon in the chat just alerted me to something that I am very angry about.
What's that?
Is it true that Frank won Fantabulous Game Show?
No. Frank, No, we didn't. No, that's not true.
Okay, he's saying he did.
Not true. We didn't have an actual Fantabulous Game Show where Frank would compete against Tony.
Oh, okay. What did he do then?
We had a makeshift that did not include Tony. So I came up with a category with like 20 answers. And Frank had to try to get as many of them right as he could. And he got help from the chat. And between he and the chat, they did it.
That is an interesting idea for a segment.
That's what we did. And Frank did well. The category, if you must know, was the baseball players who have played for the Padres at some point in their career that are now in the Hall of Fame. Also, the Mets. Players who played for the Mets that are now in the Hall of Fame, since Frank's a Mets fan.
Yeah.
There were 3 players who played for both teams that are in the Hall of Fame. Ricky, Mike Piazza, and Roberto Alomar.
Okay.
But anyway, Frank got them all with a lot of help from the chat.
Okay.
So he did not win a Fantabulous Sports Game Show, as it were.
Anthony asks, is Scraby jealous of Ello and Frank's chemistry? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, he's worried.
Maybe a little bit.
He's worried.
Frank actually asked a question today that I had to take on a listener, and it was, name the 9 NFL teams that have their logo on their sleeve.
Oh, brother. That's beyond me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me
did
too.
not know that. Dolphins, I think, do.
They do. They do.
Just because I have a couple of their jerseys.
Patriots are another. Seahawks were, I guess, another. Anyway, we need to get into the Big Five.
All right, let's get to the Big Five.
Number 5.
The Athletics Chargers reporter Daniel Popper shared something that I think a lot of people are angry about, including myself. The team announced their schedule for training camp. Players are going to be reporting to training camp on July 16th with the first practice starting the next day. But this year, the Chargers will be going to the University of San Diego to practice at the school on July 22nd and 23rd. Now, I guess the question to you, Chris, how do you feel about this?
Go again. The Chargers are bringing their practice down to San Diego?
July 22nd, 23rd, and they're going to be practicing at USD.
How do I feel about it? Like, should I feel invaded? Like,
no.
Come
Here's
back
how I
here?
feel. Here's how I feel.
Yeah, tell me where I'm.
Don't come down here.
Don't.
Because you've already told the San Diego people, Chargers, that you do not care about them.
Yeah.
So do not try and extend an imaginary olive branch because you've already told San Diego you do not like them.
Yeah. I'm personally just not going to hold a grudge for the rest of my life.
I understand that.
So here's my thing. You can come down here. You can. What I hope, though, is that no one out there will go. That would be the best statement of all.
If no one went.
Right. If you're really angry about the Chargers leaving and you hold the grudge forever and ever, and the Chargers make this big, deal that, hey, we're bringing our training camp down to the USD. Come on out and see the Chargers. I think we can send a really good message by just not showing up.
I think that's a good point.
So that's what I would do.
Nick on the chat says going to protest Dean Spanos.
No, don't even give him that. Just don't go.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them come running out on the field and there's three people. Oh, go get him. What's your name? Justin Habert?
Habert. I feel kind of bad for the Chargers fans in San Diego that are still Chargers fans.
Yes, there are some.
Because
there are some.
They probably want to go to see something like this. But I feel like you've already told San Diego how you feel about them. So
you can still be a Charger fan and support the team and not show up to that. I'm just telling you.
Yes.
I mean, really, I never really got the allure of thousands and thousands of people going to training camp anyway. It's quite boring.
I've been to a couple training camps, and
You
it was
like
cool
that?
when I was a kid because you
Okay.
get to get autographs and
When you're a
meet the
kid.
players and everything like that.
I'll give you that.
Number 4.
So Tom Thibodeau was fired by the Knicks. We know that, but the rumors are now that it's always funny when someone gets fired and then all of a sudden you have these unnamed sources that tell everybody about why they were fired. He didn't use the bench correctly.
Oh,
He
this is
didn't
a
use
bunch of bull.
Jalen Brunson
Yeah, don't even ask me
correctly.
the question.
No, that's not the question.
Oh.
The question is this. Jason Kidd is being rumored as a fit for the Knicks. I believe he still coaches the Mavs, right?
He does.
Do you think Jason Kidd would be a good fit for the Knicks?
I have no idea, and I don't care. I think the first of all, the Knicks, I think it's pretty audacious of them, but to just assume they can go steal any coach they want to
Yeah.
because they're the Knicks.
Yeah.
They happen to be one of the worst organizations in the league. So the only problem with Jason Kidd is he's at kind of a floundering organization right now that traded Luka away, but does have the number 1 pick. So maybe Dallas is a better place to stay. Kyrie Irving, by the way, said he doesn't envision himself going back there next year. So Jason Kidd will choose what's best for himself, and he'll coach the Knicks. If it is him, he'll coach the Knicks for 3 years. He won't win the title, and the Knicks will find somebody they think is better. The Knicks organization is doomed to chase its tail for eternity.
I don't disagree.
The move of firing Tibbs is annoying, but I'm not even a Tibbs fan. I just get tired of these teams, holding these coaches to absurd standards. You either win it all or else. But the Knicks are not the only one. The Dallas Stars, who just lost in the Western Finals of the Stanley Cup, they fired their coach today. Had an amazing year. Right? Got to the last 4 games or do whatever.
Yep.
Sorry, out you go. So, your team's kind of you're doomed for, failure, I think, if that's the way you run things. But that's what they do.
I was looking into Tibbs, I guess you call him, his career. I didn't realize that he was an assistant for 20 years before he got his first head coaching gig.
Yeah. He was fired after 4 years in Chicago. He was fired.
And he had good records with them.
Yeah. He wears out. Is
it his style?
I would think. I'm not there. I'm not at practice every day, but does he look like a happy man?
No, he does not look like a guy I want to go play for because he looks like he's angry all the time.
So, I get part of that, but at the same time, he knows how to, I don't know. He wins. And, there's people saying, well, he didn't use his bench right. He had no bench. That's not on him. That's on the people who put the team together in New York.
Well, the sources are saying that he didn't want a bench because he doesn't use his bench.
Oh,
all
whatever.
the sources are just being stupid.
All the sources are coming up with stuff. It's all being leaked by the Knicks themselves to try to make them look better.
Totally. This is how it works.
This is exactly how that works.
Number 3.
So Donovan McNabb said something very interesting the other day, and I felt like this was a perfect Big Five topic. But we all know that he played his entire career under former Philadelphia head coach and current Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. And McNabb believes his former team made a mistake, a big mistake, by firing Reid after the 2012 season. He said that you sit back and you start to watch and you see how Reid's career has gone to a different level. Mm-hmm. He said that let me start this over. He said that firing Andy Reid was a bigger mistake than the Giants letting Saquon Barkley go. What do you think? Which one is the bigger mistake?
I thought the Reid thing, is a mistake for what we just talked about. They fired Andy Reid in Philadelphia because he couldn't win the big one, except he won the big one about 50 times to get to the game that was the big one that he lost.
Yeah.
Right? They were in the championship, 3 straight years, and a Super Bowl. They didn't win any of them, so Andy Reid couldn't win. And that's what teams get for thinking that way.
Now you can't lose.
Right. So it was a mistake. But that was the Giant guy's stupider for letting Saquon go. Just because we got to all see it on TV. Like if we would have got to see the Eagles brass walking around going, I guarantee you that Andy Reid will never win anything. I think. And then somebody said, well, what if he beats us in the Super Bowl someday? That'll never happen. He's never going to even get close. He'll never get a sniff of the Super Bowl. Now that would look stupider. But we don't have that.
The only thing that's holding me back from saying firing Andy Reid is a bigger deal is the fact that they've won a couple Super Bowls since Andy Reid has left.
Yes, right. The Eagles got a couple.
So it's not like they're in some drought of championships. But Saquon being let go is probably going to go down as one of the biggest mistakes in NFL history. Just the way that he played. Just because the way he played and the way because we all saw it. Yeah, well, that too. I mean,
the owner was sitting right there. The owner was saying, are we sure we want to do this? And what if he goes to our division? Nah, don't worry about it. We're good.
Yeah, that was really weird.
That's exactly what happened.
It is.
Number 2.
All right, so I guess Derrick Henry was on with Dan Patrick the other day. Chris, football's about to be here. Do you realize this?
I realize it. Are you kidding me? I'm already counting the days. I told my neighbor the Dolphins Buccaneers play in December already. I'm ready. Getting ready.
Well, I guess Derrick Henry was on Dan Patrick.
He's a Buccaneers fan. That's why I told him that.
I was going to say
it would make
kind
no
of
sense.
random.
Yeah.
But Dan Patrick I guess he was on, and then he promised Derrick Henry that if he rushed for over 2,000 yards, that he would talk to Adam Sandler about getting him into an Adam Sandler movie. Derrick Henry, that is.
Wait, what? Derrick Henry?
Dan Patrick.
Oh, Dan Patrick
set this all up. So Adam
you rush
Sandler,
for 2,000 yards, I'll get you in an Adam Sandler movie.
Adam Sandler himself came back and said, if you rush for 2,000 yards, I will put you in a movie.
Wow.
So he's going to be in a movie if he rushes for 2,000 yards. I'm up first. Will Derrick Henry rush for over 2,000 yards? It's going to take a perfect season, but with a 17-game schedule, I think Derrick Henry has a shot. What do you think, Chris?
Well, 9 guys have done it now. This is not impossible.
Yeah.
He's one of the 9. And I believe he would be the first person to do it twice. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I can't.
I'm trying to click on this. The guys who've done it are Dickerson, Peterson, Adrian Peterson, Jamal Lewis, Barry Sanders, Derrick Henry, Terrell Davis, Chris Johnson, Saquads, who, by the way, did it last year. Thank you very much. And OJ, who was the first. So, yes, Derrick Henry would be the first to do it twice. He last did it in 2020, Derrick Henry. So this is plus 6 years.
That is.
So I say no.
What did he have?
Although last year he was 1921, so he didn't miss it by much.
No, he just has this ability to have like 2 50-plus yard runs a game.
Well, here's the key. If he plays against my fantasy team twice, he'll make it.
He'll make it?
Right. If he only plays against me once, he won't make it because it seems like he rushes for 400 yards and 6 touchdowns every time he plays against me.
Yeah, I have a guy like that.
Right. And then the rest of the time, he's, 70 yards and maybe 1 score. Derrick Henry's good, though.
He is very good, and he keeps himself in great shape.
I would think.
Number 1.
So earlier today on the Braden Soprentice show,
this is number 1?
Yes, they have a
Braden
segment.
Soprentice part of the number 1?
His show.
Oh.
They have a segment for food, basically, because they do it right around lunchtime. And so Frank asked me to come up with, sometimes they do, if you're a guy who is bringing donuts to the office, what kind of donuts do you bring type of thing? If you're a guy who brings pizza to your employees, work, what kind of pizza should you bring? So my thing today was I revealed something that I eat that is very weird, and I want to see if you think it's weird, Chris. I eat something I call a potato popsicle.
We know this.
Eat frozen French fries. Have I told you guys this before?
Yes.
Okay,
we've been disgusted by it in the past.
So you're not a fan of.
Well, I can't say I've ever tried it, so that's not fair, right? It's not fair to say I hate it already. I don't like the sound of it.
I can understand why you don't like the sound of it. Also, I've in the past taken a spoon of sour cream and eaten it. Have you ever done that?
Don't tell my cholesterol doctor, but probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know that I've ever done a spoonful of sour cream, but I've certainly dipped something that goes with sour cream. Like, let's say a potato skin.
Yeah.
Dipped it in there, like I got a huge dollop.
Yeah. You can't even see the potato skin anymore.
Right. So that's almost the same thing.
I guess, I guess you're right.
But you got to understand, I live in a very healthy household.
Oh, I know you do.
You know Loriello. She doesn't eat anything bad for you. And there's not a whole lot to choose from where I live. I have to go out and order bad food. And I do it. Don't get me wrong. But
I do it.
It's not readily available to me like maybe some other people.
Yeah.
All
right.
I was trying to think of something that I eat that I would think no one else really enjoys. Right? Like along with your frozen potatoes.
But I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is that I eat that like is a little weird to everyone else. So I don't have one like on equal terms.
Well, you haven't eaten the crackers in forever.
No, the crackers have been kind of on a hiatus, but those aren't weird. They're just weird. You don't like them. They're not weird. Crackers is not a weird item.
Someone said
eating frozen French fries is a bit of a weird item, I say.
Brandon said people eat spoons full of peanut butter. What's the difference? There's a big difference between peanut butter and sour cream. Come on.
Yeah. Peanut butter can be termed almost healthy for you, certainly compared to sour cream. But peanut butter does have a lot of calories.
It has a ton.
I am more of an almond butter guy, by the way.
I like almond butter.
Lori introduced me to almond butter, and peanut butter I don't enjoy as much anymore. I become an almond.
There's a lot of sugar
guy.
in peanut butter, from what I read.
They stick here. Let me just give you a little hint. As somebody who's not an official nutritionist but lives with one,
and that's the truth.
Okay. If the food you're eating tastes good, they probably slip something like sugar or butter or something like that into it.
Yeah.
That is how food tastes good.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, people. And that's exactly why, when they say, hey, go on a diet, lose it, okay, you can do it. And Esty Falos will teach you. But you're not getting a lot of food with a lot of sugar in it. They're just not going to give it to you.
I was not allowed to eat spoonfuls of sour cream on the Esty Falos diet.
They're not going to let you have sugar. They're not going to let you have a lot of butter.
Yeah, that's
those
true.
Those are the two things they're going to keep out, and those are the two things that make food taste the best. It's just one of those dichotomies of the world. Wouldn't it be nice if freshly cooked vegetables with no spices or seasoning tasted better than those that were covered in butter? It would be, but it's not. Doesn't work that way.
It does not work that way.
Yes.
You can't have both.
No.
Juan
it's
says,
a tough deal.
Juan says something that I have never tried before, but I'm not opposed
he's
to
giving
trying
us
it.
one of these weird foods. Okay, what you got?
Mexican rice with ranch. I could think that would be pretty good.
Can't be that bad.
No, anything with ranch is delicious. Like the Round Table Pizza Ranch too is very good.
Here's one thing that I ate once when I was a kid, and I don't know why I tried it, but it was one of those, you're at home after school, mom's not home.
Oh, yeah.
2 items left in the refrigerator. Let's see what happens. Tried a can of peaches, those little, not a fresh peach, but the can that are in that.
Did they have the little
sugary
cherry
syrup? No.
Okay.
They had sugary syrup, and they probably weren't very good for you. I'll tell you what I ate in a second. We got to pause for legal ID here. Scraby's.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
This is Jake Cronenworth.
And the Padres in front. It's 5-3.
The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan and Odyssey Sports Station.
Can of peaches, and I dipped it in some Thousand Island dressing, and I don't know why, but it was one of those moments in time where I was maybe that hungry.
Peaches and Thousand Island?
And I tried it, and it tasted okay. And so then I looked forward to it the next week, and it was awful. Like, it was just disgusting. So I don't know what happened on that.
I could tell you it was gross to begin with, but you loved it for some reason.
Because I was hungry. Sometimes that happens.
Thousand Island is great.
Ketchup and mustard, people. Mix it together.
Is that Thousand Island? That's not
you
Thousand
get.
Island.
Not ketchup and mustard. Ketchup and mayonnaise. Sorry, I spoke incorrectly. You will mix some ketchup and some mayonnaise. You will get yourself your Thousand Island dressing.
All right.
Put a little relish in, and you're all set.
I'd rather just buy it.
Yeah, me too. Quick note going out. The Quick Report has released its list of the top 30 baseball players right now. Number 1, Aaron Judge. Number 2, Shohei Ohtani. Number 3, Fernando Tatis Jr.
Wow, okay.
Let's get back to that, Fernando. Starting tonight in Milwaukee. I like this list, but there's no Manny Machado on it anywhere. And if you're going to give me a top 30 without Manny, I'm going to tell you that your list isn't too good.
You know, the MLB 100 list that they have out every spring training, there was players very upset that Paul Skeens was ranked so high because no, I'm sorry, not Paul Skeens, Roki Sasaki, because he ranked really high, and they're like, this dude hasn't even thrown a pitch yet, and you guys are ranking him.
He still has hardly thrown a pitch.
That's true.
Tonight, Randy Vasquez will throw some pitches. Chad Patrick will do the same for Milwaukee. Sam Levitt will preview all of it when we come back. Monday, don't miss it. It's Dodger Day. The Dodgers are in Monday night. So you got to get, involved early.
You do.
2:00 for Gwynn and Chris. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. So long.